Today I'm going to be giving you my full review on Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, the newest from the line. So I'm going to be going over how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and ultimately if I think it's going to be worth picking up. I don't remember what the availability was on this one when I did that first impressions, but now it's basically available at all of your big retailers. So you can purchase this one online. It'll just be at full retail. Considering that it's still a new release, it's probably going to be a few months until it hits discounters. It seems like for whatever reason, it's been taking quite a while for new stuff to finally circulate to discounters. So if you want to wait to get it at that discounted price, you might be waiting a while. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, and we're going to start off with the smell. Now, when you first spray this one on, you'll notice right away that it's not like any of the other Prada Luna Rossa scents, right? The Eau de Toilette, Sport, Carbon. It doesn't really have too much of that going on. It's got a very juicy and vibrant opening. A lot of that's going to be coming from a pretty prominent bergamot note that it opens up with. There's a bit of a spiciness, and that would be coming from pink pepper. One of the other notes that I start to pick up on relatively quickly is iris, and that's pretty cool. You know, I like iris in fragrances, and while Prada is really good at doing it, their skill kind of carries over into this one as well. You know, they do a good job of including iris, making soapy fragrances, and this here kind of borrows some of that quality. So when I first tried this one, I wasn't too awfully impressed. I thought it was just kind of, one, it was weird timing, but of course things are released overseas first and then they're brought over to us. So by the time we got our hands on it, we're already kind of moving out of summer. So that was one of the things, but also I found the scent to just be kind of throwing me off. You know, when I think of Prada, this is not really the type of scent that would normally come to my mind. And that's not to say that this smells bad by any means, but you know, this type of thing here is essentially their take on a bit more of a modern, trendy type of fragrance. So that's evident in the smell, also the name and the color of the bottle. Would you look at that? It is a blue bottle. Execution-wise, it's done very well. A very dark blue. Might not even show up on camera very well, but it does look very slick. I gotta give them that. You know, the bottle looks really nice. And while you may automatically think, oh, it smells like Sauvage or, you know, one of those other blue fragrances, to me, it really doesn't. One of the highest rated comparisons on Fragrantica at this time is Dylan Blue. And I'll admit, when you first spray this one on, if you're thinking about Dylan Blue, you can pick up on maybe a little bit of a comparison. You know, Dylan Blue opens up with that bergamot and then a whole bunch of ambroxan and all that stuff and patchouli. This one here opens up with bergamot. There's a good amount of patchouli that's in the base. There's no ambroxan of sorts listed in this one. I have a hunch that it is probably in there, and I pick up on just a little bit of a ambroxan tinge, just like a warm fuzzy tinge. It's kind of, you know, how it comes across. But with that being said, I don't think it's super similar to Dylan Blue or Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel. So, you know, we're kind of in the clear with that. However, you know, I wouldn't say that they're not trying to take a crack at releasing something kind of like that. They already copied Sauvage with Carbon, right? So we have that under control. But this is almost like they're kind of swinging the bat at making another super trendy type of scent that's going to appeal to a wider audience. For example, something like Prada Luna Rossa Black. That is a phenomenal fragrance, and it's very original. That's the type of thing that I would expect from Prada. You know, Prada Luna Rossa Black, Prada Luna Rossa Extreme. At one point, it's now discontinued, but that was very original. Even Luna Rossa Sport, the original Luna Rossa, they're really, really solid scents. Carbon, obviously, going to be a clone. And this one here, while it's not like a clone of any one other scent, they are kind of borrowing here. So it just kind of threw me off a little bit, I suppose. But from a smell standpoint, not factoring in anything else about originality, it smells very nice. I can't deny that. And this is going to be very appealing for people who want something mass-pleasing and want something very wearable and very versatile. What I like about this one is overall it's very aromatic. You know, it's just aromatic, and it still does have kind of a clean smell from the lavender and from the iris. Again, in the base, some of that patchouli comes through. There's a bit of vetiver in here as well, and a good amount of musk kind of making up the base. And also, one note that you'll see in the base is caramel. Yeah, caramel, great. It's not really too sweet though. It's primarily aromatic and fresh. I'm not really sure what the deal is with the caramel in here. I don't really get an overabundance of sweetness, but it does seem that for whatever reason that's becoming a relatively popular note. There's suede in here as well, and that gives it kind of a smooth, light, leathery quality. And of course, sage, and that's kind of adding an herbaceous, aromatic smell also. It's also getting compared to fragrances like YSL Y Le Parfum, Prada L'Homme L'Eau, and Cool Water. Okay, Sauvage Parfum, Prada Carbon, John Varvatos Artisan Blue, Prada Luna Rossa, YSL Y, John Varvatos Nick Jonas, Carvin Homme or Carvin Low Intense, a whole mess of stuff. I mean, you know, you start getting into things there that don't even smell similar to each other, yet they're all being compared to this. So you definitely want to take the comparisons with a grain of salt and get your nose on this one for yourself. So let's go ahead and touch on performance on this one. It's an eau de toilette, and longevity on my skin has been floating around 6 hours or so. So that's kind of average, I guess, kind of right there in the middle. You know, 12 plus hours is a beast mode, really good performing scent, and 3 hours is a bad performing scent. You kind of see where this one fits in. So not bad in terms of longevity, although most people would want a bit more, and I can definitely understand that. If you work an 8-hour day, you're going to be cutting it close, or I would on my skin. If you work a 12-hour plus day, you're going to have to reapply. So that's one thing that is kind of a bummer about this one. You know, it's an eau de toilette. Would have been cool if they bumped it up to an eau de parfum, although maybe they have plans of doing a flanker of a flanker and releasing an ocean eau de parfum. Who knows? In terms of projection, given the fact that it is an eau de toilette, it'll push out pretty strong within the first few hours or hour or so of applying it. And also in the warm weather, it'll push out even more. So projection is definitely overall kind of, I guess, the winning point of the whole performance package here. It's a pretty strong projector, but only for like an hour or so, and then it kind of dies down a little bit. The longevity just isn't anything to write home about. So performance all around is just kind of so-so. Nothing crazy. Quality is really nice. Again, that's what I would expect from a Prada, and it delivers here. Very smooth, no complaints with quality. And finally, it comes down to, is this going to be worth picking up? I think once it hits discounters, I think it'll be a solid pickup for you if you want something that's very mass-pleasing and wearable, but I suppose with a little bit of a twist. I don't want to rag on this too much. I sometimes am harsh on things and I have to try to step back. That's why I like to take time and do these reviews, but I think at the end of the day, they took a crack at creating a compliment getter and making it a little bit different. I can't hate on them too much for that. That being said, if you're after something super unique like Prada Luna Rossa Black or Prada Luna Rossa Extreme, this is not going to be it. I have a feeling as this line continues to grow, hopefully they'll give us some more releases like that. You know, they kind of stepped off the trail with Carbon and, you know, did something that's kind of a clone. They're kind of stepping off with this one. If we could get some more unique releases out of them from this line, that would be great. Overall, not a bad scent. I don't think I would recommend you to go out and pay retail for this unless you're super excited to get it. I don't think it's that crazy good to where it's worth getting it at retail. I think most of you would be happy that you waited the months or so for it to hit discounters and pick it up. Although, you know, if it's only going to be discounted $30 or so, that's going to be up to you. I don't really know where this one's going to end up falling. I think $50 would be a good price for this one on discounters. If it retails for like $80, you know, it's $30 and that's a good amount of money. Whether you want to wait to save that is going to be up to you again. I think that's going to do it for me. That's my review on Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. If you've tried it, let me know what you think down below. If you haven't tried it, do you want to? Are you excited to? Or are you going to pass on this one? I will link this down below along with the other Prada Luna Rossa fragrances. Those will be at discounters, so you can pick those up at a nice price. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.